Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great Thursday so far, and as well as a great start to your Thursday. And today is January 16th, 2025. And in today's forecast, we are going to be going over what we can expect over the next few weeks, which we will be tracking a major winter storm that could be impacting those areas all the way down there in the deep south. And not only that area, even the lower Ohio Valley could definitely get on some of this action as well, which is going to be another area to really keep an eye on closely, as pretty much areas from the deep south all the way up there to the lower Ohio Valley will be at risk for this winter storm. And at the same time, we'll even have that cold air surging on down here, possibly bringing negatives as far down south as the Ohio Valley, with those negative wind chills possibly getting as far down south as the Tennessee River Valley. So we will be watching all that for you over the next few weeks. But if you are new here to the YouTube channel, or if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to go down below and click that subscribe button, as we upload every day on this channel. And it is good to check back often for updates, as we will sometimes do more than one video on this channel depending on how active the weather is. So make sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't done that already. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up too as well. Those help out more than you know, and of course those are much appreciated. And of course, make sure to share this with any friends, family, or anyone who you know on social media. If you guys would please do that, that would be much appreciated, so that way we can help get the word out to everyone. But let's first start off by giving you guys the overview about this winter storm that's getting ready to come, because the weather isn't really going to be too bad over the next week. It's going to be the end of next week, or next Thursday, that we're going to be seeing this big time winter storm. And this looks to be one of our biggest concerns to really keep an eye on, as we are now a week away from it. And as you guys can see, it will start to bring heavy snowfall, freezing rain, and even heavy rainfall to those areas in Texas and Louisiana. And then as you get far to the north, you'll then enter that heavy snow and also that freezing rain, which will be across Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, and as well as Iowa. And then as that continues to move eastward, that will continue to bring that heavy snowfall potential, and even that freezing rainfall potential, because it will pretty much move southeastward, and it will likely bring that freezing rain even to parts there of northern Georgia. Could even include the Atlanta region, back over there into central Tennessee, and as well as parts there of South Carolina, and as well as into North Carolina, while we'll even have that heavy rainfall along the Gulf Coast, as you can see, right around that low. So we will really need to keep an eye on this very closely, as it might even bring some severe weather, because those dark greens that you see, that could indicate heavy rainfall rates of around 2 inches per hour, guys. This is going to be quite a mess when this rolls on through. So we will definitely need to watch this very closely, as there might even be some flooding issues. But we are still heading a little far out, so still expect things to change with this system. But we will definitely need to watch this very closely, as there could definitely be some flooding, some severe weather. But we're especially going to watch the part that will bring that ice in, as well as that snowfall potential. And of course, that will even continue to move eastward, continuing to bring those impacts even over there into Virginia, and as well as North Carolina. And I just want to quickly compare that to the European model before we go over the next thing. And with the European model, it shows it a lot farther to the north, and shows it even impacting those areas a little farther north on the east coast. Otherwise, it is going to probably be just as concerning with the European model, given the fact that they both show a winter storm during the same time frame. It's just a little bit of a different setup, but we will watch it closely for you guys. So make sure you guys are all being on high alert out there by the time we get into the end of next week, which will be a little over a week away from now. And this is definitely something that could really ruin a lot of plans, so we must watch this very closely. Now, the next thing that we're going to be going over is going to be this polar vortex, which will likely surge on in by the time we get into January 20th, as we'll have a lot of that cold air surging on in from north all the way down there into the deep south, as you guys can see, as we'll really be seeing that potential for below normal temperatures. And that's not the only thing that we're concerned about. Another thing that we're concerned about is that those temperatures might even get lower, because you guys saw what the GFS model showed right there, where most of those natives were far to the north and only those natives were able to get as far down south as Chicago. But if we compare that to the European model, like I said, see how the European model showed those negatives getting a little farther down to the south. We're talking negative 13 degrees for your actual temperatures, guys. Negative 13 in Indianapolis, negative 11 over there in Columbus, Ohio, negative 11 over there in northern Illinois, and as well as the Chicago region. Look at that, negative 20 for the Twin Cities region. Look at that, we're even seeing some negative 30s even showing up there in Ontario and as well as northern Minnesota. So definitely something that could also ruin a lot of plans, as well as this is definitely looking to be some extreme cold air, possibly even the coldest air in years, guys. So we definitely got to watch this very closely, as this could really bring those negative temperatures as far down south as the lower Ohio Valley potentially. But as of right now, though, we still don't know exactly how this will play out, because once again, we are kind of heading about a week away from this still. But we will definitely watch it very closely, as both of the models do point out a pretty significant cold blast rolling on through, which we will keep an eye on very closely. And then if we compare that to your wind chills is a little bit different than your temperatures. See how your wind chills could be very, very cold, if why not well below zero for a lot of those areas. So you guys are definitely going to need to be bundled up, as you guys might even get some frostbites on your arm, because with wind chills as low as 25, frostbites might be able to occur on exposed skin with as little as 30 minutes, guys. This is crazy, okay? So make sure you guys are getting bundled up out there, as things are definitely going to be quite extreme, to say the least. And same goes as we compare this to the GFS model. That was a European model that we took a look at, but with the GFS model, though, doesn't show it as intense. But once again, with temperatures below zero, that can still cause a frostbite within an hour, I would say. So make sure you guys are really getting bundled up out there, as we could really be seeing those temperatures and as well as those wind chills getting all the way down there into the negatives for much of the area. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that very closely. Now, the next thing that we're going to be going over is going to be your Climate Prediction Center outlooks. They did change this a little bit, but this is mainly just to show you guys that from the January 23rd all the way to January 29th time frame, we will likely be seeing those below normal temperatures continue down there from Texas all the way up there into the Carolinas as well. And of course, this area outside of it will also need to watch for those below normal temperatures as well, just not as confident, because usually the Climate Prediction Center only shows this whenever there's a moderate risk for below normal temperatures, and I swear there's also a slight risk outside of that area as well. So we will definitely need to once again keep an eye on this very closely, as a lot of the eastern United States, especially areas from Texas all the way to the Carolinas, could definitely be seeing that potential for well below normal temperatures during that time frame. And same over here in California, we will be dealing with those high winds during the exactly same time frame. So we will definitely need to watch this very closely, as those wildfires could even ramp up again. And just to show you guys why that could happen, you guys can see how during the same time frame from January 23 all the way to January 29th time frame, we could be seeing above normal temperatures over there around the Los Angeles area, especially the farther north you go into California. And of course, we'll even be doing with that below normal precipitation, guys. This is going to be another favorable setup for those wildfires, guys, as we get into next week. The only difference, though, is that as you get east of Utah, let's say, you will be dealing with those below normal temperatures temperatures and of course that above normal precipitation, which is one of the reasons why we're going to be watching that winter storm potential a little farther down to the south. So this is definitely something to be on high alert for, as we could be seeing another active pattern set up. It's just that this time around it looks to be a little farther down to the south, but we will definitely watch it closely for you, as this could definitely be a pretty crazy end of January, so we will definitely keep an eye on it. And then after that, you guys are probably asking, will the end of January, especially from January 28th all the way into the beginning of February, be very active? Well, I did want to show you guys that the latest from both the GFS and the European model do want to point out a winter storm, starting off with the GFS model showing that freezing rain across the Lower Ohio Valley and as well as into the New England area. And then if we compare that to the European model, still points out areas of heavy snow and freezing rain, maybe not as intense, but still shows a pretty nasty winter storm as we get into the end of our January and into the beginning of our February. So this is definitely going to be something to keep an eye on, as the end of our January could be quite brutal. But as of right now, though, it does not look certain as of right now, as we are hanging over 10 days out. But once again, we will definitely keep an eye on it closely for you guys, as this could definitely cause some significant impacts, but things will still likely change as we are heading over 10 days out. Now, the final things we're going to look at is your total rain and also your total snowfall, and I decided I would go all the way to the beginning of February just to let you guys know about how this could play out. And as you guys can see, starting off with your rainfall, you guys can already tell right there that we will be doing with that rainfall potential down here in the deep south. And like I said, we might need to watch for some flooding with this winter storm at the end of next week very closely, especially given the fact that some areas might be picking up over 4 inches, guys. We're talking the potential for flash flooding down here in the deep south, and so we will need to watch this very closely, as flooding and maybe even some severe weather could definitely be a concern down there. And this does head to February, like I said, but most of this rainfall, after looking at the GFS model on the precipitation type, most of this rainfall is actually going to be from that winter storm rolling on through. Because like I said earlier, we could be seeing rainfall rates of around 2 inches per hour, guys, especially if you experience those heavier thunderstorms. So definitely make sure you're being on high alert out there, as we could really be seeing some flooding issues, and so we will need to keep an eye on that. And then as we compare that to the total snowfall, you guys can see how most of the deep south is in the clear with the GFS model, but that does not mean we won't see snowfall. That just means it's going to remain uncertain, especially given the fact that the European model, showed that a little far down to the south, I would say. But we will still need to continue to watch it very closely, as we will likely be seeing that potential for a pretty big winter storm across this corridor, and we will also be tracking even that heavy snowfall potential a little farther north as well. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's weather forecast. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we upload every day, and like I said, it is good to check back often for updates, as we will sometimes do more than one video per day depending on how active the weather is. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up too as well. This help out more than you know, and those are much appreciated. And of course, make sure to share this with any friends, family, or anyone who you know on social media. If you guys would please do that, that would be much appreciated, so that way we can help get the word out to everyone. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Thursday, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.